They say that I'm at risk because of my age alone, but I think I've done better than a lot of other people, said 69 years old Wendy while sharing her experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. The world is aging. By the year 2050, 1 out of 6 people would be over age 65 and above. According to US Census in 2021, more than 54 million older adults are living in the USA, which is projected to grow around 90 million by the year 2050. Older adults are disproportionately affected by the crisis due to aging-related vulnerabilities. For instance, 75% of those who died during Hurricane Katrina in 2005 were age 60 and above. The situation is even aggravated by the recent COVID-19 pandemic, where 8 out of 10 deaths are among older adults. Despite this, there are still news that shows that older adults are doing much more better emotionally compared to their younger adults during the COVID-19 pandemic. This promotes that older adults are more than just only physically vulnerable. They are survivors who know how to thrive in times of crisis. Therefore, through our research, we intend to investigate older adults' resilient practices, particularly for those who are living in rural and small town areas. With that note, I'm Novia and welcome you all for our talk entitled We Are Blessed to Live in the Countryside, Unpacking Rural and Small Town Older Adults' Resilient Nature in Times of the COVID-19 Pandemic. In this research, we set forward to answer this research question, that is, how do rural and small town older adults living in the USA cope and practice resilience during the COVID-19 pandemic? To address this research question, we conducted semi-structured interviews with 26 older adults aged 65 and above living in rural and small town areas during summer 2020. To analyze the collected data, we conducted thematic analysis, where we conducted both inductive coding to identify codes related to psychosocial challenges and coping responses. Now let's explore a few key findings from our research. We found that despite initial hiccups, older adults adopted various coping strategies to support themselves in response to pandemic-related stresses, such as they develop a sense of safety and social well-being. They engage themselves and keep themselves busy in household work. They engaged in exchanging social support. And lastly, they also mentioned developing or having a positive outlook. For instance, P8 mentioned finally learning how to use new technologies such as Zoom for her social interactions. Based on our finding, we provided design directions to support older adults' resilient practices through design, such as designing a shared platform where they could request for support as well as help others and thus foster connectedness among older adults and community members. We also provide design directions on how to harness older adults' resilience skills for broader community, such as adopting digital storytelling service platform that would allow them to create and share stories, and thus other people could learn about their experiences and resilient practices. Thank you so much for listening.